Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and today I got a hodgepodge of details for you, but there's a couple in here that are really exciting. Coil, they just struck a deal with Imgur, and they're investing into the Imgur social media platform, and that's going to help XRP, and I'll get into the details in just a moment here. Before we get going here, though, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you don't hate every single word that's coming out of my mouth, go ahead and subscribe. It'll be a good time. Good times for all. Now, into the content here. I just wanted to point this out just a few minutes before I went to record this video. Bitcoin hopped over the $13,000 mark. $13,169.90 per Bitcoin, according to Live Coin Watch. So wow, it's rallying. This is crazy. Now, all alts, we've seen them rise in all the altcoins to one degree or another. But most of them not in an insane fashion. You know, you see XRP, it had its biggest jump in terms of price from roughly around 30 cents, in mid-May roughly, and now we're towards the end of June. And, after that initial rally in mid-May, it did jump up to 47 cents and then back to around 40 cents or so. And we've seen it slowly creep up a little bit since then, but it's moving mostly flat. And I want to point out the reason that I say this, and I made the point before, but I want to do it again, because sometimes people get a little concerned with, like, why is XRP flat? Bitcoin's going up. Well, historically, we've seen that this is just how XRP behaves. It is a little bit different than some of the other alts. Some of the other altcoins, they do tend to pump a little bit sooner than XRP. I've seen XRP be more or less flat, trade within a narrow band for over 6 months while other coins are pumping. But then, and I'm thinking specifically of 2017, but then what happened? It went from, what was it, maybe 25 cents all the way up to its all-time high of almost $4. So I don't know what's going to happen, not financial advice, but I'm just saying, don't let it freak you out. If you see Bitcoin going up, just understand that's great, because right now the way people view every coin in the ecosystem is all as one big unit. They're all tethered together, from a psychological buying and selling perspective. So wait patiently. That's my opinion. That's what I'm going to do anyway. You do what you want, but that's what I'm going to do. All right, now check this out. This tweet I got from XRP Research Center. At Imgur announces that it's raised a $20 million from Coil, a micropayment tool for creators that Imgur has agreed to build into its service. Imgur will eventually launch a premium membership with exclusive features and content reserved for Coil subscribers. Now, Coil, as you may know, is a web monetization company. It was founded by Stefan Thomas, the former CTO of Ripple, and then he struck out last year, and he had a happy separation from Ripple. They're all still good buddies there. But, he has a passion for this particular project. And the whole thing is, right now, as far as monetization is concerned on the web, it's typically you either get hit with ads, or you get hit a paywall. How many times have you wanted to read an article somewhere and it says you must subscribe, or they tease you with the first few paragraphs, so they'll let you read 1, 2, 3 articles, and then you can't read anything else on the website? Well, this is a solution to that. Rather than those payment methods, it's kind of revolutionary, really. I don't think that's an understatement. So with a simple $5 a month subscription to Coil, for all Coil-enabled websites, money is streamed in real time to content creators, and you don't have to worry about subscriptions or watching ads ever again. And so it's fantastic. And now you got this major company, Imgur, and to be honest, I had never gone to their site before today. I did pull it up before recording this video, although I'm not going to showcase it here, but because I was just kind of curious. But they're pretty much a behemoth. They're well known all over the internet. I've seen stuff from Imgur. Again, I just had never gone to their site, but yeah, they're very popular. So it's neat to see that they're partnering up here. Now, a Coil was funded through Ripple's Spring Initiative. The Spring Initiative, as you may know, it funds startups that are engaging in unique, really creative ways that will neat business ideas in and of themselves. But part of the catch is if Ripple's going to fund you through their Spring Initiative, it has to somehow benefit the XRP ecosystem. And so with Coil, that's an easy solution. They're using XRP to facilitate the streaming of real money. And if you're a content creator, you can actually cash out directly in XRP or fiat. You actually get to choose that. But as far as what they're doing with Imgur here, you know what this is going to do to supply and demand, don't you? Of course. If this is widely adopted, and you understand the more adoption that takes place here. Imagine if this takes hold of the world. Like, this is just a common thing where you're streaming payments in real time to view stuff rather than having to view ads or or subscriptions. Not that those options would ever go away entirely, but what if Coil gets a huge market share? Do you have any idea what that would do in terms of supply and demand for XRP? Because that XRP has to be held by someone. Coil. Or maybe they could partner with others for the source of liquidity. But I'm just saying, it has to be held somewhere, or else it can't be used in real time. And so this is exciting stuff. We're at the very, very beginning phases of this, but this will directly impact long-term the price of XRP, presuming that they find success, especially on a large scale. Now, let me delve into the article here for you. And this is from TechCrunch, titled 300 million user meme site Imgur raises $20 million from Coil to pay its creators. And isn't that cool, by the way? Before I start reading this, I'm only going to read parts of it, but think about that. Coil was funded by Ripple, and Coil is giving part of what they raised, or what they got from Ripple, to throw into Imgur. And that little bit that they're throwing in is $20 million. How much money did Coil freaking get from Ripple? That is so cool. It must have gotten like a boatload of cash. Which is good because, I mean, basically, let's be real, Ripple at this point has more money than God. It's ridiculous. So they got quite the war chest, to be honest. Anyway, the piece starts out, meme creators have never forgotten their fair share. Remixed and reshared across the web, their jokes prop up social networks like Instagram and Twitter that pay back none of their ad revenue to artists and comedians. But 300 million monthly user meme and storytelling app Imgur wants to pioneer a way to pay creators per second that people view their content. Today, Imgur announces that it's raised a $20 million venture equity round from Coil, a micropayment tool for creators that Imgur has agreed to build into its service. Imgur will eventually launch a premium membership with exclusive features and content reserved for Coil subscribers. And then it goes on to explain how Coil works, and I already cited the flat fee of $5 per month here. Let me read. There's a paragraph down here I read earlier that I would like to read for you also, because it quotes Stefan Thomas here. Yeah, here we go, right here. Actually, maybe I'll read both of these here. While the new round brings in a few dollars, Schaff, he was the creator of Imgur, explains that Imgur raised at a valuation that's higher than last time. Our investors are happy with the valuation. This is a really exciting strategic partnership. Coil founder and CEO Stefan Thomas, who was formerly the CTO of cryptocurrency company Ripple Labs, will join Imgur's board. Coil received money it's investing in Imgur from Ripple Labs, a spring initiative which aims to fund proliferation of the Ripple XRP ecosystem through Imgur, although Imgur received US dollars in the funding deal. All right, now here's the quote from Stefan Thomas. Stefan tells me that there's no built-in business model as part of the web. Publishers and platforms either make money with ads or with subscriptions. The problem is that only works when you have huge scale. That can bring along societal problems, as we've seen with Facebook. Coil will hopefully offer a third potential business model for the internet and offer a way for creators to get paid. And that's exactly what I was kind of getting at here. This is another option. And it doesn't mean that certain websites are not, for their own personal reasons, going to prefer subscriptions, but I think that this could be widely adopted, this new concept for web monetization. So really neat stuff to see unfold. We're at the cutting edge here. You know, most people on the planet have no idea like how cryptocurrencies even function. Almost nobody on the planet knows what XRP is, and even fewer know about this. So it's really something to be engaging with content like this on a regular basis here. That's why I love this space so much. Fun hobby. All right. Now, this is also cool. So, Hodor, he put out his latest blog yesterday, and there's one piece, you should read the whole thing, but there's one piece I wanted to cite here that I thought was really neat, because it's just one more example of the Ripple/XRP ecosystem developing. And there's a company called Leapfrog Technology, and Hodor's blog states, Leapfrog Technology is a software development company with offices in the US, Switzerland, and Nepal. According to the company's official website, they've been around since 2010 and have authored a wide variety of software solutions. In their list of prior case studies where their team has acquired first-hand experience, one is listed as providing efficient remittances. Now that part's key. Providing efficient remittances. Perhaps there is some connection between their previous work and a recent tweet that the company published. And here's the tweet that Hodor put in his blog from Leapfrog Technologies. Leapfrog is forming a strategic partnership with Ripple to start an exploration of building a blockchain-based fintech connectivity for Nepal and beyond. And so those are all the specifics that they have, and Hodor cites as much in his particular piece. But look, if somebody's partnering with Ripple, and if they have a background in remittances, what do you think they're doing? And while we understand that banks are really, they're more resistant to change than remittance companies. That's the proof of that has been borne out. All right. Banks are coming. Don't get me wrong. Like a lot are already using. They're already functioning on RippleNet. They're utilizing XCurrent, and somewhere up to 15 businesses are perhaps using XRapid. That's the most recent number that I got from Brad Garlinghouse in a recent interview within the last week or so. But more will come on board. But understand that given how conservative banks are when it comes to any sort of change, not really too surprising to see that we're not seeing the adoption just snowball quickly there. But remittance companies, a different business model, different type of person that's running those types of businesses, they've been jumping on board like crazy. We could name a whole bunch of different remittance companies, right? Couldn't we? There's Mercury FX, there's Sinfriend. I cited them in a very recent video. Now you've got Leapfrog, which has done remittances. And, the real secret sauce here is XRapid. So while they don't explicitly state they'll be using XRapid, I will not be surprised one bit if they're partnering up with Ripple here. And what does that do? Again, there has to be enough liquidity for these businesses to function. So if there's a business opportunity and you can be a market maker buying and making fees on the buying and selling of XRP, and you see a new corridor, you're going to do it. That's exactly it. Businessmen are businessmen, right? And so that'll take more XRP out of the ecosystem to facilitate the development of these particular corridors. And that's why I want to share. Every time I come across one of these stories, I'm going to share it with you. And it's just going to, at some point, there's going to be such a snowball effect that you're going to feel like I'm bashing you over the head with announcements of new remittance companies coming out and supplying, basically instant liquidity through whatever corridor that they want to be involved in. So awesome stuff. This is a tweet from Dave Jones. I just found this fascinating, so I wanted to share it with you. It has to do with volume of XRP and MoneyGram. It states total yearly remittance volume, 690 billion. Estimated MoneyGram market share, 5%, which equals 34.5 billion, which equals a daily volume of 94.5 million. If converted to XRapid in full, that equals 189 million of extra daily traded volume compared to today's 312 million, surpassing Ether by 50 million in volume. So the reason stuff like this matters is it's just one of the metrics that people consider when buying and selling. And admittedly, when it comes to speculation, a lot of it is just kind of how much confidence is there in the price. But people do look at trading volume to some degree. Because look, it's part of the ecosystem. If something's not getting traded very much, it could be an indication that people aren't interested. Why aren't they interested? And then delve into it further. Now, with this being such a nascent asset class, I think that pretty much all cryptos are tied together, as I stated at the beginning part of this video, and I've said a number of times. But this metric will matter more as time passes. And so consider what I just read here in this tweet, and consider that we're just talking about MoneyGram, which is just one partner, and then consider that Ripple's trying to solve what is in annual terms a multi-trillion-dollar problem. So if they can get any sort of traction here, they don't have to get 100% market share, but if they can get a lot, just imagine what that's going to mean in terms of XRP price and XRP volume. So that's why I wanted to share it with you. All right, check this out. This is a cool video. I'm definitely linking this one for you below. I watched a video of this yesterday, which I found because of XRP Research Center. He tweeted out, this is a tweet from David Schwartz, CTO Ripple, that XRP Research Center here is tweeting out. It states, "We discovered existing plumbing was so bad that just improving messaging was a product. So we focused on building a payment network that can settle with a digital asset, and we are transitioning from building it to figuring out where to settle with digital assets." And this was a really insightful video. I mean, it always is. Anytime you hear David Schwartz speak, it's just an absolute pleasure. He speaks, and I also appreciate that he speaks fast, but not so fast that you can't understand him, but his brain's moving like a million miles per hour. He's just a genius. Quite literally, he's a genius. I mean, he created the frickin' XRP ledger, and he's a genius with cryptography and all that good stuff. But yeah, it was funny to hear it. I gotta admit, like when I heard him say it in the interview, and I had already read it in the tweet here, but I couldn't help but kind of chuckle a little bit. I'm like, wow, Swift technology was so bad that just improving messaging was a product that banks are clamoring for, and that doesn't even fix the settlement portion, because we're talking about XCurrent there, and then you layer, of course, XRapid on top of it, and bam, you got the whole product suite that you need if you're a bank, really. And so, and listening to this video, though, it was truly fascinating. But he gives a lot of insight, though. So once this video is done, if you do have a little free time, maybe you're driving or you're walking your dog or you're hanging out at the pool, which is what I'm going to do after this, just check out the video if you got some time. It's always, like I said, just an absolute pleasure to listen to David Schwartz speak on these topics. So I want to share it with you. Last piece I got for you today, this is from Wrath of Kahneman, and he was the source of the thrust of my content yesterday. Check out my video yesterday if you want to see what it was about, or the content specifically therein. But he tweeted out, "I believe this is a new Ripple brochure for small to medium enterprises. Interesting emphasis in the doc. Repeated mention of data-rich messaging coupled with payments. Ripple connects siloed payments systems through an open neutral protocol, Interledger protocol, ILP." And so I did kind of browse through this, and to be honest, most of it is stuff that we've heard a million times over and over, so I'm not going to bore you to death with this thing. But admittedly, presuming he's right and this is actually new, and there's an emphasis on data-rich messaging, it's fascinating to hear that, and then connecting siloed payments, because as we know, even that's why, look, when we talk about like stable coins and Libra, and people are saying, it's a Ripple killer, this or that. Well, those are silos, those are walled gardens, and that's why David Schwartz, he's cited a number of times in the past. I don't know if you guys have heard him say this, but he's talked about how Bitcoin was supposed to be the end all be all. It's once it was released, the white paper's out, and Satoshi Nakamoto releases first Bitcoin, you can actually mine it yourself and all that good stuff. It was supposed to be the case that you didn't need other currencies, or everything was now interconnected because of Bitcoin. But we found that actually wasn't the case. All that happened was we created the existing problem with fiats being their own little siloed situations, prior to cryptocurrencies existing. And then you have the proliferation of cryptocurrencies, and then a second was created, and a third, and a fourth, and now you have thousands of cryptocurrencies, and they're all their own little walled gardens. And so with Interledger protocol, and specifically what you can do in instant settlement with XRapid, it ties those silos together. And that's the piece that was really missing. That's what's truly fascinating about all of this. And Interledger protocol, funny enough, I don't know if you guys realize this, but that's basically what Xcurrent is. I think it was tweaked to some degree, but I remember reading some time ago that it's basically the same thing. So they tweaked it to whatever degree, and then Ripple sells Xcurrent to banks, and then they implement the software and this or that. There's more that comes along with it, so it's not like they're they're taking a free product which they created, which is Interledger protocol, and then just charging banks for it. That's not what I'm saying. It is different. And then on top of that, you can layer, of course, on top of that at some point XRapid, should they choose, which I think many will en masse at some point. That's my guess. We'll see. But that's all I got for today. Thanks so much for watching my video. I do appreciate all the support I'm getting from you guys. And please note, I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Take care.